Apparently I've been missold car finance.
Nice. And on that note, welcome to Bragging Rights. Season 3, episode 15. Hosted as always at Tribal. Sponsored as always by Comscaf. Don't forget to give us a like, hype, subscribe, all that jazz. You know the drill. We say it every week. It's pointless reiterating it.
It's not.
It is, because if they want to watch it, they'll watch an old episode and pick it up from that. So
Just do it.
If we're going
Just like it.
Exactly. Just
You never know when we're going to get a podcast or a Bragging Rights Virgin on board, and it could be the first episode.
Yeah, like it, hype it, then watch it.
share an episode with a mate.
Then that.
Bosh.
Oh, your mum.
No, she doesn't listen.
Your mum.
Well, I've tried, but
Their mum.
it's like, oh, is it going all right?
My mum listens.
Is she?
Yeah.
I just can't watch it.
Dean's mum done.
I'm going to keep out of this section.
How are we all?
I'm back.
Well, you're back, yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Can't
that
you tell
about,
with the shit banter, he's back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
is that about as good as it gets? You're back.
I'm back because I went to the rugby yesterday. I would have felt bang out of order not coming here today, even though it hurt like fuck going to the rugby yesterday and I really didn't want to come here
That was just
today.
emotionally. What about the physical pain?
Both. Yeah, same.
Dean?
What a shit weekend for every
Sporting
team.
weekend again.
Sporting weekend for
No,
me. has
Saturday
just
was
been
decent.
annoying. I couldn't really care less if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, but for Jimmy, though, the highs and lows of having to go to the circle 2 days in a weekend, and on one of them for City to...
the highs of that to the lows of yesterday.
Although
Yeah, it
having
was-
said that, I did see David Litton on Sunday celebrate a knock-on more than I saw the City fans celebrating getting in the playoffs. So maybe there was some fun to be had on Sunday.
It was so massively different because it was bouncing on Saturday.
Yeah, because City turned up.
Well, no, not just that. Like the stadium, even at the football, there might be 23, 24,000 there. It doesn't bounce all the way around. It's still just the north stand. It was the entire stadium on Saturday, and then flip side of that on Sunday, 12,000 people. No one said a word for 80
people
minutes.
in the West Stand.
Yeah, 3 Toulouse fans.
The full stadium did rise when the team of 91 come out for the 35th year anniversary, which was really good actually.
Team of 91 -1.
He wasn't actually in the match day squad for that game. So
I feel like I've moved
Anyway,
them onto
how are
their
you?
section anyways by accident.
It's the old section.
no, how's Josh?
Yeah, it was Josh.
Oh yeah, I was Josh.
They're fan, cheers, why?
Good.
Just checking.
Just asking.
We'll do it, all right.
Well, let's check in.
Yeah, grand, cheers, gents, grand.
It's okay to not be okay.
That is true.
But he is okay.
I know, but I'm just saying if he's not.
And I'm
it's
not
okay to
sure I
be.
was okay at 2 a.m. this morning eating my Magnum drunk, but I'm okay now.
Magnum or Magnums?
No, I just had the one.
What one was it? Was it a white one? Or a...
He asked
We
this
had
on the
the
way,
same discussion in the car on the way here.
Would you like to guess what Magnum I had at gone 2 a.m. this
I would
morning?
like to
original. OG.
I would like to
No.
hope it was one of the almond ones.
No, I'm not an almond fan.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Go on, what
Caramel.
was
It was the billionaires one, the millionaires, billionaires, whatever it is. Do you know where it's crunchy gold and all the caramel in it? It's got all
So
that.
you can tell he owns the
fancy
big
bucket.
bucks.
it? Yeah.
I get Majestics from
Jesus.
Aldi. It's about as good as it gets.
I get the little ones.
One universal
might be
credit,
little.
mate. I get Asda's own.
Every little helps, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Anyway, are you all right?
I'm all right. Yeah.
Good.
I had a decent sporting weekend. Not the best because the Souths, but you know.
Don's got promoted, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a bit of a damp squib. I'd have preferred if we'd have won the league, but promotion's promotion. 4 years in League
It's
2
so
is enough.
pleasing some people.
I know, it was
Yeah,
sitting in
I
the car
know.
on the way here. I was like, oh, so you finished second? I was like, that's still what my promotion down in that league. He's like, yeah. I was like, doesn't seem very happy about it.
I was happy last
Not
week.
like some of the City fans who were that happy we just made sixth, they raided the pitch.
I was happy
And that,
last week.
Mr. Illagella, is why the pitch is fucked, not the rugby.
I was happy
gone
last week
there.
because promotion was secured last week.
Oh, right, okay.
So
Yeah.
All right.
there was a lot on this week because it was all the hype of, oh, we could be champions, blah, blah, blah.
Nah.
And then we didn't.
I know that feeling quite well, from going really high sporting wise last week to fucking down there this week.
Oh well.
On that note, why don't you move on to the FC section?
Why don't we? My mum asked me, or was it my mum? Or someone said, how bad was it? And my reply was, the 12 other teams, this is how bad Hull was. The 12 other teams in Super League would have beaten Toulouse yesterday. And I am including current form Castleford and Huddersfield in that.
I
That is how
described
bad we
our
was.
performance as the Audley Harrison of like rugby league. That's how bland, boring. It was almost like we turned up and did absolutely the bare minimum we needed to do, the players needed to do to go home and get the paycheck.
Yeah, you did say, didn't you? Who
I
was
said- I
that
said-
boxer?
I was like, who was that boxer that nearly didn't get paid because he didn't put enough effort in? I was like, that's what this feels like.
No, it was more like if Ainsley Harriott tried to box.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
I think I said to you before, but I'll say it for the listeners. Of all the rugby league games in all the world, in all of history, that was one of them. I mean, there is nothing else. There's nothing good to say about that. That was, if you wasn't an FC fan that enjoys the pain and suffering, or you wasn't a Rovers fan who enjoys seeing FC get beat, for a casual observer, you did not watch two teams play Super League level rugby or anywhere close to it yesterday.
Not even close.
That's the kind of game that makes Sky think we're not paying any more for next season.
I'd love to see how many people turn off the game, and if there's a correlation to a really poor game like that, and you actually see loads of people turn off at 50 minutes or whatever.
That's got to be up there. If there ever was a game.
And they'll know as well, because it was Sky Sports Plus as well, wasn't it? So a lot of people have been watching on the app. So they'll know when people are turning on and turning off.
They actually tried to hand it to us in that second half as well. The amount of errors, penalties.
Especially that last 20 minutes.
Oh, they could not give us enough field position. I think we had 46 play the balls in attacking positions in that second half.
And scored one
Or in the
try.
game, one of them, either way. It was just going from, I said the high last week, from that and you're thinking, okay, like, we might just turn the table here, last team might got a grip of these players, to that. Like, you scream at us for being how inconsistent we are. And I sort of give us a pass for that because when you started your journey so many years ago, how many ups and downs, you was very inconsistent, a lot of things going wrong. But fuck me, oh, come on. That was so bad. You can't go from that high to that low. That is just massive gap.
I was so mad that last week I wasn't committed enough to back to losing our predictions because I wasn't practicing what I preach, which is that I truly feel you're so inconsistent that you could potentially lose it. And I know it would have sounded like an arrogant thing to say from a Rovers guy, but I meant it, and that's why I've said it all season that you're so, and then you turn up to be so toothless in every aspect, and then the definition of insanity, trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Let's not go left to Martin. Let's not kick to Martin. Let's always kick early. Let's put random people kicking the ball on the right. And Arthur, why don't I try and be a running prop rather than a ball handler?
Yeah.
Let's try that for 40 minutes when we're already losing the game. It was just insanity. And for me, I think I messaged in the group as it happened. I've said, I think, twice this year already that I've loved Rovers' effort when there's a minute left and we've got a chance for a scrum down. No matter on the field where it is, we think, let's have one more set.
I know where you're going with
You
this.
got that opportunity with a minute to go.
First half.
And at the end of the first half, and just kicked out and didn't rush try and get the scrum down. You was behind on points and against a Portaloo's team where really a couple of drives and a kick over, you never know that ball's going to go in wet conditions. But to a man, the FC players went, yeah, let's get him for our half-time oranges.
Yeah. The groan, the collective groan around the stadium when Arthur put that kick in from on their 40-metre line and played it out to touch. Last tackle, 45 seconds to go in the half. Put a spiral up. What's
Greasy conditions.
Exactly. It was toothless. You used the word, I'm sure it was
I
just you
said,
there.
didn't I? I said-
Toothless. It was so bad.
I said in the group about to lose, I said the defence was solid, but in part that's down to you didn't throw much shape at them, you didn't throw much. You didn't make them guess, you didn't do anything like
There
that.
was no. I don't know if anyone's seen it. Richard White put a tweet up. I can't remember the exact words, but words along the effect is there was no taking the ball to the line. There was no. The halfbacks weren't controlling it. There wasn't committing players in, making the defence have to think. There was none of that. It was awful. It was so painful to watch for us as well.
You said to me last week or the week before I asked about it, I bag Caesar all the time and I do think he's off the pace. Beating Castleford is nothing. I know you've got to celebrate and that isn't straggle from last week, but it is.
It is something because of where we've been the last few weeks. That's why it was so big for us.
I did say, fair play to him, we did do some stuff, but it's one game in this season.
Yeah.
And I did say at the time, can't remember how I performed in the Leeds game, right? But I questioned you about Arthur. And you was like, keep saying, too early to tell, we'll wait and see. I don't think it is too early to tell. You're like a third of the way into the season. I don't think he's offering anything. To me, yesterday, against probably the easiest team in the league to play right now, He looked panicked, couldn't make a decision, couldn't get the pass away, ran it himself too many times, put poor kicks in, and I don't understand what he's doing, but if I was McNamara or his dad, because Brad Arthur was there as well, sat in that crowd watching that, I didn't see a single player that I'd be thinking, I want him next year, or if I was the Leeds coach, I want him at Leeds.
For them players yesterday, it was the worst weekend to have your future coach sat in your stands watching you. Because,
I mean, there was one set, kind of summed it all up. We got the ball from the kick-off. I think it was the first set, second half. Got the ball from the kick-off. I know it must have been first half because of the way we were going. Got the ball from the kick-off. Caught the ball, shipped the ball to Matautia. Matautia got, dragged about 3 or 4 players up to, the 35, 40 metres.
Because it sort of ran out wide a little bit.
It was after
Yeah.
our first try, James, because he came off the bench.
And he dragged him, and then on the 4th tackle...
It was on our 50.
We'd made another,
meters.
10, yeah.
Because we tried to play with the ball instead of just getting up the pitch, setting up something down the pitch. We just tried to... We didn't respect the ball. We didn't respect the opposition.
But there were people around us saying, oh, it's just boring one at rugby. I went, it's not even that. It's we're trying too hard. Boring one at rugby would be the right way to go right now.
Classic Wigan, 5 drives and a kick sort of rugby.
But we want... I'd love to see how many metres players like Logan Moy made sideways.
Every player in that squad would have made more metres going sideways yesterday.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Moy. It was all the backs, to be fair. It was just sideways all the way. It was like, oh, someone changed the angle of the stadium here or what?
Bite down
Am I
with that
looking
gum
the wrong
shield
way?
and run at him. There was none of that. It was piss poor. And if that's what we'd have seen all season, then don't get me wrong, it'd have still been a bitter pill to swallow. But you could have gone, yeah, well, we've been shit all season. But after what we've produced last week, it hurt that little bit more. It actually hurt. And it was... So, I want to read something out, and it was a comment from last year's interview, and it was in Hull Live yesterday. Good players turn up every week, and I think we've got too many who believe and think they are good players, but they don't deliver week in, week out. I think that just sums them up.
But I think FC's problem is, as I've said before, is that unfortunately the media and the people around the club have made the players believe that. Because they've carried on saying, like I said before, it's always our year Warrington, FC are in danger of becoming that. And I get that's what you have to do in the local media, is try and drive up interest and fans coming. But telling players that they've got it when they haven't, when they are over the hill, when they are injury prone and they're not putting the effort in. There's too much of a buzz around that you'll just walk in and get a shirt. And I'll tell you what I'm not having as well, because I'll defend FC on this, saying they was getting booed at full time by their own fans. I'm not having that. There was no fans left to boo.
I actually thought he was being serious.
Yeah, of course. So I got to have a dig when, Jesus Christ, I watched 2 teams yesterday that I think genuinely we make jokes. Generally would fancy Docker's A team to give them a run yesterday.
It was
It was championship level.
It was like watching
at best.
FC versus London 2 years ago. That's what it reminded me of. Remember when we were in Turkey and watching that FC London? Was it Magic? FC London.
No,
on
at
the
least
telly.
London played well that game.
No, you hadn't. I know.
And we beat them at there. But right, before we wrap up, because we are short on times this week, which is quite good for us anyway. Under 18s went down to Leeds 22-16 this weekend. There was 18-0 down at half-time, brought that back, but wasn't enough in the end. And the under 16s made it 5 from 5 during the week last week. Put Cast to the sword 66-6.
Another old team that only plays for 40 minutes.
Shut up. But one thing I did mention before we got into the old section was the class of 91 was there. They did the Legends Parade before the game. 26 of the members of that squad was in attendance at the game yesterday. Really good. And
What's the significance of the class of 91, please?
They won the Premiership. They beat Widnes in the Premiership final, which was back then was the playoffs. That's what the playoffs, the grand final took over that when Super League started.
Did they win a trophy or a plate?
We won a trophy. It's a Premiership trophy.
Just educate myself.
Just educating yourself. So yeah, it was good to see a lot of them there, and it was a real good atmosphere early on as well, wasn't it? They got the crowd going, everything was going well, and then the main match started and it went downhill.
Still finished after 10 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. But no, congratulations to them as well.
I do like it when you get the ex-players from the club that have done stuff. You know, I was disappointed for Paul Cook earlier in the year when he said he wouldn't be going back for you doing
It was
your walk
20
round.
year last year in August for the
last year.
2005 one.
And that's because I
That was
think it's a
disappointing,
really
isn't it?
nice thing. And that's not a good. I think in general it's a really nice thing to see the ex-players walk around, to get that reception, to they relive the memories of being in, maybe not on that pitch when it's so long ago, but in front of that crowd and seeing the shirts and the chants. So anytime a club does it is nice. So I'm glad it went well for them guys.
Some of them players was some of the players I first watched when I was at Hull FC as well, like Lee Jackson, Gary Eastwood, and the Nolan brothers as well. So yeah, it was good. Even though I didn't recognise them because they got really old now.
Bragging Rights is proudly sponsored by Comscaf. Hull's own Comscaf have been keeping things safe and steady for over 30 years, providing professional scaffolding services nationwide. If you need a team you can trust for your next project, big or small, head to comscaf.co.uk or give them a call on 01482 782 181.
And I'll bring it up now because Jake, Susan, whatever his bloody name is, cut us off early. Really
straight away
good.
back and straight away
Because it needed to be brought up. We didn't see it at the game, but obviously you two saw it. The shout out that Sky gave, but also the fact that Hull put it on the screen as well for Lila. We all supported Lila's story and their family last season. When we got the news through, but the game took place on the anniversary of her passing. So I think it was really good for the club to make sure that got brought up, and as well for Sky to make sure it appeared on TV as well with that Lila's Law campaign that's going through, hopefully going through Parliament soon.
Shouldn't be far off, I don't think. John,
Fingers crossed.
John, if you could let us know, mate, just give us a message.
John did message me.
Oh, he did message. There we go.
Because you asked for it in
John
Instagram.
messages
We
me
make
all
things
the
happen.
time. It's like every time FC do so much shit, I can expect a
Jimmy's
text off
fucking
John.
inbox must be like that.
It is. It just keeps going.
It's a full-time job, that.
And I will just give it a shout out now. 1st of August, Good Fellowship, Family Fun Day in Aid of Lila's Law again. Similar to what they did last year, but that's 1st of August. We'll share there's a big long spiel that John sent, but we'll share the posts that John is going to put on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. We'll share that on our socials as well. Now we can go to Cass Rovers.
Well, I was going to lead in with a joke, but I won't bother now just because that was quite a poignant moment there, and I thought Jimmy delivered it really well, don't you? But anyways, what can we say, really? Expected. Yeah, I mean, I nearly got the predictions right, and you all laughed at me when I said by 56.
Yeah, you got the old one wrong though, didn't you?
I did. Only just. I think we all did. But I was miles away. But anyways, one thing I did like to see from Rovers, it was only sort of 10, 15 minutes worth, was how patient we were.
Yeah.
We had a lot of pressure early on, and we didn't score early on, which we are renowned for doing. We do like to score really early tries and sort of set the tone that way. But the way that we built that pressure and then capitalised on it after a short while, I thought was quite pleasing to see. We stuck to the game plan. I know it was only early, caveats on the Cass. We didn't panic. We didn't start throwing these stupid balls, which we have done in the past when we do start to panic. But like I say, them early scores really did set the tone for us. And I think once Carl Lawton scored them first 2 tries, sort of the writing was on the wall. You could just sense that it was going to be a good day for us.
Good day for you, long day for Cass.
absolutely,
Boring match for us, lot to watch. But
Very, very.
And it was
long
effectively
day.
like a training run, really, wasn't
Yeah,
it, for
it
us?
was.
Like, especially in that second half where I just spoke then about throwing daft balls, not looking after the ball, discipline slipping a little bit. Obviously, one eye on the cup next week, which is absolutely fair. It was just a little bit disappointing that sort of stuff crept into our game, but you can also accept it.
It's part and parcel of it. I think overall you've got to be pleased. I mean, I would have liked to have started the pod with breakfast again, but we didn't, so disappointingly.
how disappointing was that?
Yeah,
How did you let them score against you?
My Papa Lang is class.
Probably one of
He
their
is
best
class.
players.
Yeah, he is.
He is class.
Yeah, and the thing is that we trust so much. It's such an amazing place to be in, where you know that hurts so much that you don't even. It's not even a question. We know they'll have all got raked over the coals by Peters for that, because that's a disappointing end.
You could see the disappointment in his face in the interview after the game.
That's a 79 minutes and 30-second performance from his team there, and then 30 seconds to switch off. And that, we know how professional he is now. He's got us to the standards right. He will drag them over the coals for that, and they'll learn that that's not acceptable. I like that. Obviously, with this point to finish with, I think we mentioned Lawton. We've got to talk about him to open the game. There's been a lot of chatter about Lawton recently. One of the big ones, again, it's just a rumour. There's no fact to this. That he's been homesick, and we didn't know where that sat, and would he maybe be going home early? And again, just rumours circling around. Another one was he fit yet? Give him the timing that he came over in the pre-season. Has he got up yet? And had he found his role in the team yet? Well, the way he came out and performed in that opening 25-minute spell, even aside from the 2 tries that he scored, was probably the best I've seen him in a Rovers shirt. As at hooker, he was everywhere. And all I kept saying, I think I was saying to Susan, my old man, I was like, this is exciting. Because if he can perform to that level, there is probably not a more dangerous player in the league coming off the bench than Jez Litton right now, in terms of what he swings for a game. So I'm not saying players like Bevan French, Jai Field, to name others, can't turn a game around and come off the bench. But Jez Litton is a game changer on fresh legs coming off the bench. He can turn, and if we've got that going for us, that might be a tactic that we use. It was nice to see that maybe Lawton's found his place a little bit.
Yeah, it was very reminiscent of Parcell and Litton, wasn't it? Where, Parcell would do 20, 25 minutes and then Litton would come off the bench and 9 times out of 10 finish the game. So it was very reminiscent of that. And we took Jez off with 10 to go. Obviously, again, one eye on next week. Lawton came back on after about 60 minutes, I think, for Minchella. Minchella came off, which we're seeing more and more this season. He's not been an 80-minute player, which is certainly going to bode well for us down the line when we've still... Because we did peter out in a phase last season where, we looked tired. Was it 6 games or so where we were winning games, but we weren't looking like the Rovers that we looked for the first 2/3 of the season. So hopefully this rotation that Peters is putting out is just going to be good for the longevity of the team, and hopefully we'll see the rewards coming our way from it.
Absolutely. I think the other thing, we look at our team from Thursday night, there was some decisions made before and during the game. So Sue sat this one out precautionary. So you're missing your starting prop there. Dino didn't come back on after half-time, again precautionary, potential injuries. A few players shifted into different positions to have a go at them spots. It was nice to see, and also it just sort of does point that ethos a bit. If we did treat it a bit, especially in the second half, it's a bit of a training exercise.
You could though.
And you were allowed to.
You had the lead. You was in a position to do that. So why
would you not?
You? Yeah.
In terms of players that wanted to shout out, there was a load of players that put their hand up for man of the match. I think that for me, Tom Davies was unlucky not to pick it up in terms of the fact that he got a hat-trick and a well-took hat-trick as well. But what it is about Tom Davies, there's been a bit of chatter around him the last few weeks about we don't attack down this side a lot of the minute. It's all going to Budgie on the opposite side, and it feels like what's going. Tom Davies, I'm struggling to name. He's definitely in the top 3 wingers in Super League at the minute that you would trust to take a ball back from a kick on 5th tackle, a good 10 smart, hard yards up the field, and set yourself up for a good rolling forward. There's not many that do it better than him.
I'll go early on this, and I know we're talking about England later on. He's in my England team. Him and Dom Young are my 2 wingers.
It's not a bad shout.
On his form currently,
241
I'd have him on the
metres.
budgie any day of the week, and I
Would
can't. Oh, 100%. And I can't name another winger at the minute who's in better form.
Yeah, 241 metres, 5 tackle busts and a hat-trick.
I think Budgie's good for a couple of errors.
He is usually, but
Don't get me wrong, I'm
it was very
not
solid.
saying he's bad. I'm far from saying that. I just think of the 2, yeah.
Speaking of players, you got to mention Tyrone May.
Oh, I thought you said PLT, sorry.
He was absolutely sensational. Now, I've been one of Tyrone's critics openly. I've said he needs to pull his weight a little bit more. But the way he controlled the tempo of the game on Thursday and just freed Mikey up to play Mikey rugby was just superb. Like, Cass just couldn't live with him. He was stood in their defensive line for 10 seconds, just jinking about. And they just didn't tackle him for whatever reason. And his decision-making is massively changed my opinion on him from where I was maybe 12, 18 months ago.
Well, we're going to talk about England shortly, and I'm going to go on...
Tyrone May's not English, mate.
No. I'm going to go on a tiny mini rant about Mikey. And the comments that I've stole about it relate to how Mikey and May are performing together. And I've been looking at this, as we're coming into this sort of rich vein of form right now, admittedly against some of the lower class teams and some of the teams that are performing as well, but as they are performing how they are, I think they're looking just about as dangerous, if not more dangerous than we did last year. And look how we did last year on them two.
They properly found a bond, a partnership, a communication level, whereas I was very similar opinion to you 12, 18 months ago. I thought Mikey was carrying your team and May was just dotting him when he felt like it because he looked like a lazy bastard to me who just didn't want to get out of his dinner suit. That's flipped. Yeah, you can still say he plays in a dinner suit.
We do.
But fuck me, he gets involved now, doesn't he?
Yeah.
They are properly complementing each other now, and that started from around about June, August last year. After when you dropped off a little bit, he sort of seemed to step up last year. You know, after your cup final win, and he just seemed to take it to the next level, and it's worrying from another.
I think he had Jimmy saying that is he the halfback we need to take us to a trophy? Do we need a better halfback?
No, it was me.
Sorry, I do apologise.
I said I don't believe he will. Yeah. I think you need a stronger seven to lead.
He's listened to this. He's heard you and he's gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Fuck that old fan.
Yeah. The beauty of it is that because Mikey isn't attacking a running half first, by having a player in Tyrone May who hates to be tackled. I mean, don't worry, he's not Newman. He's not Newman. I texted you guys yesterday. Why does Newman play rugby league if he dislikes getting tackled that much? Like, come on. He's not like that, but he does really like. But in defence, May's always bent his back and been really strong. But going forward, if you've got one half who really isn't going to get tackled, so he's always going to ship the ball, and then you've got a running half in Mikey who's going to go at every gap he can and going to find a lot of them. When they're both singing from the same hymn sheet, they're going to work so well, and we're seeing it. I've got two things to mention as we come in to wrap up, but my moment of the game, unfortunately for the poor ex-Rovers player who had a terrible night across the board in PLT, but was when Hiku flattened PLT because the camera couldn't keep up on Sky. So when I watched the game back, PLT's jinking a bit, Hiku squares him up and hits him. The camera's gone because he's expecting them two forces will need to keep moving one way, and he stops him dead in his tracks. And I thought, yeah, my moment of the game there.
I just put Wallop in the group. That was it. Just
not many have had as bad a debuts as that Paul had on Friday. Thursday. Sorry.
And then I just want to finish on my bit for Rovers this day, on a little bit off the subject, but we always give shout outs to people and talk to people who are saying that. But there's a mate of ours, there's a mate of my dad's, known for a long time, called Col. We unfortunately found out at the start of the game on Thursday night that he'd been taken seriously unwell the previous week. As far as we're aware right now, he's doing okay, but I think it's a bit of a long road to recovery, and the guy's not well now. Cole's just this guy like you get when your dad's in his 60s. He's got a mate who was known for years on and off, and all of a sudden, we've just found ourselves spending time at Rovers with this fella and his family and that. Randomly, we ended up spending a full weekend in Toulouse with him and his son.
Oh, is that
and
the guy?
I didn't even know, but one of my old best mates had married his daughter, and we didn't know while I was in Toulouse, and we found out afterwards, and then went to World Club Challenge, and he's got the seat in front of me. And he's like, "Where's your old man?" I'm like, "Oh, he's got the seat in front of you." And we ended up in all that stadium, seats and stuff like that, and we just always bump into him. But we found out at the start that been taken unwell, and I'll just send Cole, our best from everybody, from our family, from Rovers, and it was a shame to hear that he'd been taken unwell, and obviously it's always a shame when I can't have a partner and see him in Craven Street beforehand. So don't know if he listens, if his family do, but Cole, wishing you all the best and hope you get well soon.
Yep, speedy recovery. Last couple of things from me then. We're looking dangerous, aren't we? We're looking very balanced at the minute. And one thing I was impressed with was our squad depth being tested. You mentioned it. We rested Jesse Sue and Jez Litton for a part of that, and I think it's just phenomenal.
Did Litton score?
He did.
Did he?
Yeah. Litton scored. Lewis scored.
I thought you were waiting on Litton to score.
No, I don't think so. Only one let me down, and I'm sure Litton scored.
I thought it was Litton that let you down.
It might have been.
I don't think Litton scored.
No, actually, I
was trying to piss you off then, but yeah, fair enough.
Nah.
We are the opposite of you right now. It's quite hard to be frustrated with our team.
It really is. It really is.
It's a very joyous place to be for you guys.
It is at the minute. Not for our young boys though this week. Academy, they lost 44-24 at Warrington. So putting a bit of a shift, but just outclassed by Warrington in the end there.
Setting the tone for next week,
hopefully.
Not.
And the Scholars, they lost 20-30 to Huddersfield at home. So not the best weekend for our young boys, but I'm sure they'll bounce back.
A little bit about Tribal then. As you all know, for anyone that's been watching, we base ourselves here at Tribal. They are kind enough to let us DOS to put this all together for you. So in return, we like to try and encourage you all to get here. We've mentioned it every week since we started coming here, but it is a great place to come for starters. Plenty of beer on tap. You've got every sport you could possibly think of. They even show Scottish football, which we're trying to keep our eyes off at the minute as Hearts try and win the league up there.
It's been so hard to not shout when Hearts have scored.
Yeah, I wish you did though, because I've missed both goals. But as Josh mentioned last week as well, they will literally put on any sport you could possibly ask for. If you come in and ask for kabaddi, they'll probably put it on. So,
Kabaddi?
Yeah, hey mate, it's national sport of India, that. Just come in, ask for it. Obviously, days like today when they've got, Hearts versus Rangers, you're probably going to find it hard to get a screen, but it is what it is. And to add to that, we've now got a new sponsor as well, which you'll see at the bottom of the screen in 7 Gold Vodka. They do 3 flavours, the main one being toffee and vodka, but they do, as shown by Joshua,
Banoffee, is it?
they do banoffee and vodka, and they do nutoffee and vodka, which is like hazelnut. So we've got them on there. You'll see a little advert for them later on in the podcast as well. And hopefully, we want to check the legality of it all, with it being alcohol. We should be able to do some giveaways with some of that stuff included in the future. So, yeah, get yourself down to Tribal and give it a try first. Obviously, there's no point entering giveaway if you don't like the taste of it. So, come and buy some first.
The toffee one.
I was just going to say, we stayed for a drink afterwards last week.
Just because Jimmy wanted
Because Jimmy wanted
I want here. Yeah, I was
We're celebrating last week of freedom.
Yeah, and we was offered to a selection of
The flavours.
the flavours, to which I refused. I was driving. Josh refused. He was driving. Craig wasn't driving.
Craig never drives.
But Craig had a fair few
I had 3. Only 3, one of each.
bottles.
I was being sensible.
It must come with a warning though, because Craig did sample it, and then when we left, he disappeared into Dunkin' Donuts for 15 minutes. So I don't know if it makes you hungry.
Craig can
or...
vouch how nice.
My flavours, obviously it'll depend on your own palate, but my flavours are the toffee one is absolutely superb. It does not taste like vodka at all.
It's the only one I've not had.
There's a slight sort of vodka twang at the end of it.
That's dangerous, isn't it?
Oh, mate. Honestly, it's just like beautiful. It's like liquid gold.
I've tried the nutoffee and the banoffee, and I don't normally like banana flavoured stuff, and I thought the banoffee one was actually quite nice. So I'm going to try some of this afterwards. But because they've mentioned how irresponsible Craig is, I am just going to remind people to drink responsibly. And according to this, the UK Chief Medical Officers recommend adults do not drink more than 14 units a week. That is our advice to you.
I'll drink that before the coach leaves on Sunday.
But drink responsibly. And now we'll go on to news.
Don't you start.
From around the world.
Today.
And last week.
I've played kabaddi.
Have you?
Yeah.
It's just Tig in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I also drink vodka, so
Responsibly.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, let's do some news then. Thanks for the sing-along, gents. I liked it.
So you never join in with the sing-along?
No?
No, he hates it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Why?
Carry on, Josh.
Carry on. Let's start on some good news. So, Cam Scott did escape any serious injury after he was taken to hospital after play was stopped for over 10 minutes in the Wakefield and Leeds game as he received medical treatment, and he was then stretchered from the field. I think a lot of people have seen that after watch the game, will have seen it in Rugby League News, but he was released on Saturday. At the minute, there was no bigger effects, no big injury, nothing major to worry about. He'll obviously be failing a HIA and sitting a game or two out, but he will be back playing. So
Well, it's Challenge Cup this week, innit? And Wakefield are out, so.
Yeah, so we'll see him.
Will he not? He'll have an extended period though, won't he? He won't just be
I don't
normal.
know if he'll have 2 weeks, and that means they're missing
Yeah.
again. Basically, what matters is that he's okay.
Yeah,
Still
Yeah,
have to,
absolutely.
what is it, the 11 day? He'll still have to pass his protocols
Yeah.
to get back. But if he passes them after the 11 days, he'll be allowed to play in the next game. I assume.
I thought with him been like out, I thought there was like an extended protocol thing.
No, I think it'd have been under the grade A or grade 1.
Grade 1 in its instant
Yeah,
fill.
which league he had last week.
Right, okay.
So, and he's allowed
yeah.
to return after 2 weeks. So
Fair enough.
if he passes it.
Moving on then, it looks like going into next year, there's going to be a 4-way battle for the TV rights for Super League. Sky Sports will obviously put the name in the ring again, but it also appears that TNT, DAZN and Paramount are all going to compete for it as well.
It chuckles me that you can't say DAZN correctly.
I don't want to.
Oh, right, okay. Is it
Because
just
I
a
feel-
thing now? You just
No, I just feel as though one day I'll probably work for him as like a journo or a podcaster.
Okay.
And then that'll be how I'll fail the job interview. They'll be like, this guy's got it, like, he loves to chat, he knows it. And then they'll be like, so why do you want to work for us? And I'm like, well, doesn't. And they'll be like, sorry, sir? And they'll just...
Doesn't.
So you're going to work for him but fail the interview?
That's a head scratcher, isn't it? I'm going to play Kabaddi on TV for him, is the point. But let's see what happens. Don't know if it's true, just reports coming out last couple of days, but we'll see. It can possibly only be a good thing if we're going to get more money and people competing. However, on the negative side, it's paying for subscriptions and moving these games around, and they end up going in places where people don't pay for subscriptions and they make the game less viewable. You know, Rovers was on Sky One on Thursday night. So for a casual flicker going through the TV guide, they're going to be on the homepage, the first page of your TV guide on Sky.
Sky One's actually free to air now, isn't it?
Don't know.
I'm not sure.
Like, you know, like Sky News, you can get free to air on like Freeview. I think
don't know.
Sky One is. Maybe wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong.
I'll have a look tomorrow and let you know, because I'm at
All right,
work.
cool.
We've
Cheers,
got
mate.
a review, so...
Then a bit more news closer to home for you, gentlemen. Hull FC, future at the MKM Stadium, is in trouble, as described by the owner of Hull City.
I'd seen that, but I
has
didn't know if it
anyone
was
got
an
any
older
party
artist.
poppers?
No, this leads into my dickhead of the week. Adrian Ilagella, dickhead of the week.
Is he allowed to take your section away from you like that?
It wasn't man to begin with, was it? I stole
It
it
was
from
mine,
me.
he stole it from
was
me.
it?
100%. He is dickhead of the week, right? I'm a City fan.
Yeah.
Season pass holder
Yeah.
for City and FC.
Oh, you should have mentioned it.
It's not his fucking stadium. He might own the SMC, he might run the company that manages the stadium, but it's not for him to turn around and say, oh, the football club, we don't want the rugby club there.
Do you know what I did find highly amusing? He says the state of the pitch in the January. Oh, where's the effect? The state of the pitch in January is down to the rugby. We haven't
Yeah.
played there for 5 months.
Eh,
That's how
He's
deluded the
fucking
guy
clueless.
is.
just
Did you have a home friendly as well?
No.
No, you didn't, did you? So
No,
you
no,
won
they
We
on
don't have
it,
any home friendlies because it costs so much.
they didn't even play fascist testimonial there, so they didn't put any work on it.
It's 150 grand to use the stadium.
Just to add some context for people then, because obviously you jumped straight in with your dickhead of the
Sorry.
week and what's going on, but basically, Hull's existing deal does expire at the end of next season. Apparently the Black and Whites are already in talks with the SMC. However, the SMC, as Jimmy's already mentioned, is owned and operated by Hull City, but they are in discussions about a new long-term agreement. What has happened is that, what's his name, Jimmy?
Adrian Ilagella.
Okay. Akon, Ilakali, is what it says here. So that's all right. Yeah, that's
call me Akon from now
Maybe
on.
there's a typo, but yeah.
No, that is how it's spelled.
Yeah, he did ask Hull City supporters in attendance to a forum they had during the week to raise the hand if they wanted the Black and Whites to leave. And then he actually said, this is the most important part of the meeting. The question is, how many of you are okay for the rugby club to be here for the future? Can you raise your hands? For the rugby club being here, how many of you would prefer them to leave? And then after the voting went on, he went, so they are in trouble. So they are in trouble now. This is something we have to discuss. So, look, we'll see what happens. We're not saying it happens. It can't be as simple as you kicked out and it doesn't happen. That we've discussed this time and time again. That was built by Hull City Council for the people of Hull and for the teams of Hull. Rovers simply turned down going there. It wasn't like it was given to City and FC. Yeah. And if you go somewhere else, that can take years to sort out. Even if even if you don't build somewhere and you have to go and play somewhere else, even that can take months to years to organise a deal like that. So
Don't get me wrong, I'm with Dean. I am all for leaving the MKM. It's not the best place for us from a fan perspective. Like, business-wise, up until now, it's made sense. But my issue here is that he's acting in bad faith. It's not just a case of, like, it sounds like our bloody deal is going to be 4 times what it used to be. That's just bad faith. He's just abusing his position of power as the operator of the stadium because he's also in charge of the football club. You know, he already does that. He already doesn't let anyone else. I mean, your board weren't even allowed in the chairman's suite for the bloody World Club Challenge. You know what I mean? Like it's all City badges everywhere. It's not all City Stadium. If they buy it and they own and operate it, fair enough. I'm all for that. But it needs to be done in the right way, and it can't just be a case of a load of probable Hull KR / Hull City fans saying, "Yeah, kick the fuckers out." Like, it can't be that. You just can't kick them out like that.
KR fan, aren't you?
I've called someone out though. I was watching the City game. What dickhead goes in a Rover shirt to an Hull City game? Stood in the North Stand the other day. It was on TV.
Really?
Yeah, fucking get a grip, man. Wear a
Yeah,
football shirt to a football game, rugby shirt to a rugby game.
I did it, and I'm not apologising for it. Anyways, final bit of news, bit of a lengthy one, but I think it's definitely worth bringing up. So I won't read everything to do with this, but I will still put a chunk of information out there for people. But the IMG grading is to undergo a major change, and changes to the way that teams are measured, and it's going to happen later this year going in for next year's season. There's still going to be a maximum of 20 points available, where if you hit 15, you're going to be in grade A territory, so you're going to be at the top of the list. However, there's going to be new key ways in which you get the points, and some of these change in terms of on-field performance increases from 5 to 6 points. So it's like 30% of your total, really, just less is going to come from where you finish. Also, they're only going to consider the previous 2 seasons' performances, not the previous 3. So that means that teams that won the championship last year will get a benefit from, you know, coming up. So I think, was it Wakefield obviously come top last year, come back in
Wakefield,
Super
then York
League.
won it.
So then Wakefield will gain that measure, that extra point. But it also means that there's changes to catchment areas and there's changes to the way you're graded on silverware. I would say, rather than me say it all out loud, go and read, because it's a long article about it.
It's so complex.
There's a lot to it, but ultimately there's going to be changes. What is very clear, and I don't think this is, you know, I don't think this is me being too far out of reach saying this, it heavily favours the London Broncos going forward. That is one thing that this does do. It heavily favours London for what might be happening in Super League next year or the year after, if we're looking at what teams are going to be in the points to get a licence.
Well, yeah, because they've been done over by the catchment area thing in the past, haven't they?
But so have we.
No, because we share a city.
But we wasn't allowed to go like to the East Riding and things like that, was we?
Yeah, but we did, because we created a youth hub in Lincoln.
But we had to do that to get the catchment area.
Yeah, I get
which
that.
was-
But then you know, it's the same with Lee. I think Lee and Wigan share a catchment. But the thing is with London, London's catchment area really is London. But they were only allowed to have like the borough of London that their stadium's in.
So what happened last year?
Wimbledon.
yeah.
Yeah, so what happened last year is London only got graded on the area of Merton rather than the City of London. And so it gave them, because you get on a sliding scale from 1.5 points maximum, sliding down on a percentage of your population covered, they had to use Merton, which is obviously a small borough of London. Next year they can use the whole of London. Whereas on flip side, clubs like Huddersfield, who they did get the maximum 1.5 points because they had the population of Kirklees to include, they're going to lose that now from the score entirely. So their score's going to go down. So depending on what they do, it's not going to be as straightforward as we expected of where clubs are going to land now. Some of the clubs that are up towards the top, ourselves, you know, Wigan, are likely going to stay there. But it's probably some of your middling teams to the bottom, or ones that had probably, not controversial, but had IMG gradings that come with a lot of caveats, is probably going to change massively. So we'll
I like
watch.
Cass, Huddersfield.
Yeah, we'll watch. We'll keep our eyes open. If we get major updates, we'll obviously bring them to the news section.
I wonder if they will keep the TV screen one.
They changed the TV screen.
Did they?
Yeah, they did
Oh,
change it.
Fair enough. What about the TV gantry one at Doncaster where it was like half a metre short?
Didn't they give him permission to use a disabled area, because it was an area of the stand that wasn't open to fans anyway? There was like a disabled seating area, you know, for like wheelchairs, that they were told you can use that as your gantry instead.
I
Because
believe
and that
there was something
fit.
about that.
It was somewhat dodgy.
Let us wrap us up. I've just remembered one more that's worth mentioning because it was a talking point last week. Bradford Bulls have decided at Oddsall they're going to be doing away with the car racing around the outside, the stock car racing or whatever it is. And so that
we
means,
couldn't remember what it was. Yeah.
It means that now they're going to be able to extend the pitch. Obviously, we had a bit of a conversation last week about how narrow that pitch is and where it sits in the margins. It looks like they will be probably undergoing some changes to widen their pitch and do some work around that.
What's their pitch size like compared to Cass? Because I was obviously listening back to last week's, and I was like, it can't be much smaller than Cass.
Don't know. Someone do the research, let us know. We'll do it and maybe mention it. But
Yeah,
I think you should do it.
We briefly spoke about it last week.
I know there is one key difference though, in that the one at Odsall is in Bradford and the one at Castleford's in Castleford.
Wakefield.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in the sizes, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Right, we're done from news from around the Rugby League world today.
Oh, yeah.
GN Carpets.
I'm looking at the wrong bit. Are we done yet?
You're back on now, yeah?
Well, you could have told me. Yeah,
Helps
thank
if you
you.
tell us that we're back on.
I'm pointing.
Fucking hell. Honestly.
In his defence, he didn't
Liz, do
go
you
like
want to
that.
sit there instead?
I didn't see him point.
I'm backing Susan on this one. He went,
To be fair,
Like
yeah,
that.
you did
Why don't you start talking then?
because it's not my
my
section.
section.
Watching you two not see him then was like watching FC not beat
Not
Toulouse.
I was nudging him to shut up because it wasn't. Yeah.
Didn't even touch me.
Do something. Do something.
video.
Okay, do it.
Comment section. 3 questions because Susan's cut my time short this week.
Is it the guy that put the same 3 comments on?
I ain't wasting my breath on him. He's a referee.
Is it?
I enjoyed his comment.
I can't remember what he put. That's how significant it was.
He just said, I don't think FC have got enough in them to beat Toulouse, but I'm happy to be wrong. And so Dean just didn't want to say it, but... No, he mentioned, was it about the Marshall he mentioned?
Yeah, because you said, Marshall had picked up an injury. I was like, Marshall never gets injured. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he
It
just.
never seems to get
And then there's
Yeah,
a
it
big
never
one, it's
seems-
like a 12-week, potential 8 to 12
Yeah,
week,
yeah.
isn't it?
You are horrible. You know that we manifest things on this podcast.
What are you on about? No, he mentioned that Marshall had got injured, and I replied saying, basically, it's a shame because Marshall doesn't normally get injured. That's why I said it.
And when he
maybe didn't
does,
word
not
it
for long,
correctly.
but we
Sorry.
manifested a big injury. We've got people bloody Uniteds on here and stuff, do you know what I mean? So,
And the pitch widened.
yeah, now we've got a pitch hardened.
Right.
If you want it, get it sent over, I'll get it on my mood board and I'll make sure it happens.
Brian Watson, get well soon, Jimmy.
Thanks, Bri.
We've spoke about our pundit of choice who we'd like announcing on a rugby match last week. He said mine would be Wire fan Stuart Pearce. I think that was mentioned by by somebody anyway. My question, with Luai signing for PNG and Tyrone's brothers at West, contract or not, do you guys feel May will be at the Tigers next year?
Don't think he fits. I think he fits alongside Luai.
I know rugby league is a very fickle sport in many ways, but Tyrone May did not have a lot of fans over in Australia in terms of coaching staff and people that would want them at the clubs. Now, fine, people have the controversy and things happen. He's obviously turned that around massively, but I don't think people are coming hunting for him and paying big money for him to come. It would have to be the right fit, and it would have to be at the right time, at the right price. The only reason I can see some big credit to it is he has repeatedly expressed his desire to reunite with his brothers.
Who have just extended their contracts at West. So if he's going to go anywhere, really, you'd probably say West. And when you consider that Luai's just left Wests,
Well, he's still there for another 18 months, isn't he?
no, he's leaving Wests then.
So there's still not a place for Tyrone, is he?
No,
at the
not
minute?
yet. Maybe at the end of next season, but
And I
I
don't.
wouldn't say this
As
season.
much as I've just been praising the guy, I don't think he's good enough for the NRL. My opinion.
Yeah.
While you're on Bri Watson, I'll just shout out and apologise to Chris Watson, who's his nephew. He used to play at Lambeth with me years ago. I don't know if he ever played the open age, you guys, but he knows us all, doesn't
I
he?
worked with him.
You worked in.
Yeah.
I know I've got some unread messages from you, and I know I haven't read them because I've been on another weekend of enjoying the beers. Maybe you've sent something for me to discuss in the pod this week. It might not be relevant when I finally get to them, but I'm quite slow. I'm not a big Instagrammer. I just get to the messages when I get to them. I know I haven't seen them, Chris, so I will get to them. Luckily, we've shouted Bry's out because it came on YouTube, so my apologies, Chris.
Bri is our favourite Watson.
That's so unfair.
Angie's my favourite Watson, to be fair.
Next one, Jipnag on YouTube. Great pod as pair. Question for, next week now. What is the best song to get you pumped up before playing a match?
Playing a match or watching a match?
Playing, it's more watching a match for us now, isn't it? Well, for
I always
you
used to listen to "Lose Yourself" by Eminem in the changing rooms with my earphones on, just on my own. But if I'm at a game, if I'm like at FC and I want to get as pumped up as a fan, I want Triple H, Time to Play the Game, Motorhead.
Good shout.
That's good.
Yeah, not a bad shout.
We
Anyone
used
else?
to play that as well at the KC, but binned it off.
even now before playing, on my way to my games, I still have Eminem on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes I do go a little bit of old school dance.
For me, if you stick with Eminem and you go with Eminem Till I Collapse featuring Nate Dogg, it's just got that perfect build-up of coming and going, and then that was always a good song to blast in the changing room before a game. Obviously, post-game, we used to all sing
I wondered if one of us had mentioned it.
Build Me a Buttercup.
Build Me a Buttercup, which is a really nice one. And we have actually done that at quite a few weddings, haven't we, throughout the team, where we found time on the night to play it and all get together on the dance floor. But yeah, that'd be mine for warming up.
I don't really have a go-to song, just anything sort of upbeat, up-tempo.
Yeah, just to get
Bit
you
of like
in the mood.
Clubland classics maybe for me.
Yeah.
Bit like Ultra Beat, Feeling Fine.
Scooter.
No, not Scooter.
Cascada.
Yeah, but every time we touch, bit of that. Yeah, that's a bit of me, that is.
Wow.
Oh, well, one more. Gary, not food related. Which team is currently playing the classiest rugby league? Not necessarily the team winning the most, like Leeds, but not classy.
I did think about this one. I actually think it's Wakefield.
Okay.
I think that they're slightly under the radar. I think that they've managed to keep themselves in a good position. I think that when we talk about halfbacks that are performing well in the league right now, I think Truman's having a great year. He's a little bit underappreciated and overlooked because of some of the bigger names in bigger clubs. When you go across the other teams, you can't call a team like Leeds, who are probably the best form right now, classy. Not when they had 3 players sin binned and the way they behaved on Friday night, and some of the players they've got and the way they go
And we
about
saw
it.
it against Hull.
I think that for me, if you're picking a team in Super League right now, Rovers won't be far off in terms of the classy rugby that they're playing and the exciting rugby, but Wakefield are up there for me as well.
I've
Yeah,
gone
I don't
Wire.
think- Got Wire.
Yeah.
Wire are good to watch.
I like,
Yeah, that's
I
not a
like
bad
watching
shout.
Wire. Yeah, I like watching Wire at the minute, and I'm really looking forward to both semi-finals on weekend. I think they could be absolutely quality games, and
I don't watch enough of the other teams in Super League to really know, but watching Wakefield and Leeds the other day, I can get down with Wakefield. Going down under, Wests have been nice to watch this year, and
The Waz.
South. I've enjoyed watching South since Dufty came back in, slinging that ball around,
Told ya.
a couple of 100 metres per game.
I'll give a respectful shout down for one of the teams down under, the Cowboys.
They've hit the straps a little bit.
They've come on quite a lot this year. So I've enjoyed watching. I only really watched the highlights from down under. I've enjoyed watching theirs.
I know we beat them, and I know they've had some bad games and some good games, but when Brisbane are in full flight, they are so classy.
Did anybody see Walsh's tackle, try-saving tackle
What
on the
a
weekend?
tackle that is, by the way.
That is the definition of different gravy. When
Yeah.
they're in full flight as a team, you think, I can't see a team beating these. But we did.
Just glad they only played for 20
Good
minutes.
job going in full flight then. wasn't
Yeah.
it?
for 80 minutes.
That wraps up comment section this week. Take it.
Who's taking this one?
Take it.
Well, it doesn't say have anyone's name. It just says England,
Etc.
and that's not me, is it, sir?
Oh, here he goes.
Here he goes.
Let's talk about England. Let's talk about some big injuries, some informed players. We know we've got a new coach. Let's maybe have a chat about, don't have to run through a 13 and try and do it that way, but just some shout outs for particular players that we think should be making the team come the end of this year for the World Cup, yeah?
Yeah.
Richard Whiting.
Yeah. Good
In
shout.
all 13 positions.
The modern day Stanley Jean.
So I was going through a list of names. I'm going to throw one in there now. And we spoke maybe about Lewis and Connor not being the right fit together. Williams might not make it. Smith's been way off for the last 12
Williams
months.
shouldn't make it.
Smith's been way off. Well, he might not make it with his injury. Smith's been way off. Harry Smith's been way off for the last 12 months. A bloke who did say he would play for England if picked. And he's playing quite well at the minute. I'm not saying he's a choice for me, but I'm going to throw his name in there. Jackson Hastings.
He's a choice for me. His name's been in my mouth for years, and I think similarly to the way that Wayne treated Connor, I think he treated Hastings like shit as well sometimes, in terms of when he possibly could have deserved call-ups, at least to train on squads. I think Hastings has massively missed out because of the way that Wayne thinks, which really...
This is a dinosaur, basically.
No, but when you add in names like Radley
And Brimson.
who he did pick, who were Aussie-born as well, and then he was like, I'm all for English-born, and you've got Jackson Hastings, who's just been overlooked completely, in the same way that Connor has. Especially this season with the way that he's been playing. Yeah, he's right in there for me.
He's just been going about his business steady and quietly this
Well,
year.
don't
And I
forget-
know he didn't have a good game against you guys, but none of their team did. But
Don't
for the
forget
whole
with-
this year.
Yeah, but don't forget with Saints though, they're up there towards top of the league, out there, second at the minute or whatever. They're playing okay rugby, and I had to laugh the other day when they had the pundits all this week naming their Man of Steel top 5 current contenders because of the way that the new system works. They was getting pundits to ask, and Jody Cunningham over at Saints named 2 Saints players, one of them being Sailor, who's played 3 games this year. And I'm thinking, you can't even name the player that's done something for your team, which is Jackson Hastings. Yeah. Like, just goes to show, they don't know what they're talking about. But I can get on board with Hastings.
I think we are going to be... We've got Connor and Lewis who are playing well this year, and hopefully, for England's benefit, they play well for the rest of the season, because for me, them two need to be in that squad. We need that flair. We need them on the pitch. But if they can't work together, who can be that other half around them? For me, Harry Smith's not. He's proven to me now for the last 12 months, he's not as the half that we all thought he has been and was.
That's because of the players around him, though.
Jackson Hastings, so far, surely he's got to be putting his name in the hat for at least a train on call-up squad, at least. So we'll see.
I think, not to bag on you guys right now, but the young stars that you was maybe expecting to take a step up, and we've called maybe potential future England players in the
They're not there
future,
yet.
they haven't shown anything. If anything, like I said, they're showing a bit of regression, and they need to show more. So I think we can take them out of the conversation.
Yeah.
When you've got so many established players in wing position, particularly at the back, even at our side with Davies and Budgie, they're in over someone like Martin already.
I've already said my 2 wingers, starting wingers, would be Dom Young and Davis, for me. As backups wingers, I don't know. You've got Budgie, ain't you? But I don't really know who else. We've got Makinson won't be now. He was in the squad, Ashley's squad last year, I think. But
I think there's a few players, Johnston and Pleapoint.
Of course, yeah, sorry, Johnston, yeah.
These opportunities, it's hard as well. You think Walmsley's just signed another year deal. Is he worth it to have in your squad for a World Cup to bring that experience? One knock on a game, but then that experience in drive, hard yards. Who else can replace him?
you got Aledzki's done all right this year so far. You've got Thompson. He'll probably be in and around it at the end of the season. A bit like Wigan, he hasn't been great this year, but you can't write off them players all the time. They're going to turn up at some point.
Long way to go yet
think.
before we'll know anything in it. So
I think my mini rant though that I said was incoming about who's going to play the half and why I'm still backing Mikey Lewis. Stole this offline, but there was a conversation about is Mikey currently the best in-form half-back in the league, and it sparked quite a good sort of conversation. Well, actually, I think you can't really look past a couple of the players right now. You can't really look past what Croft and Connor are doing, and you can't really look past what Truman's doing at Wakefield. Hence why I mentioned that.
But he's still eligible
Then
as well.
obviously
yeah.
people start throwing French out there and saying, well, he's injured. Get rid of him. I don't think many people deny that when French is fully fit, he's the best player in Super League. But he isn't fit enough. But then this comment coming to say...
He's already ruled himself out of England anyway, right?
Well, it's not, but I'm just saying that was a conversation about half-backs. It wasn't for England.
Sorry, yeah.
But then what Mike's saying, Mikey took 43 tries plus assists in 2024. In 2025, he took 47. Up until before our game last week, he'd had 17 tries and assists. So right up there again and building nicely. People like to call him inconsistent and act like every really player in the world isn't inconsistent. Like people don't have games where they go quiet or have off games or saying he can't do it, forgetting the way he performed against Broncos. One of our biggest gripes when we played the World Cup Challenge when we came off was that Mikey put 3 kicks up into the air that were dropped by Broncos players inside their 15 that gave us clever territory. He also kicked a massive 40-20. And yet afterwards, Hull Live gave him a 6 out of 10. Right? Jake Connor by Leeds, I know it's different back by the Leeds Live paper, gave him a 10 out of 10 performance for the performance in Las Vegas. Right? Where Leeds scored 10 tries and Connor was only involved in 2 of them. I tell you
Andy was
what.
only on the pitch for 60 minutes.
I tell you
And I
what.
pulled him.
Give Mikey.
No, but that's what I'm
Arrested
saying.
him halfway.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Mikey Lewis is.
I know, I'm agreeing.
Mikey
Right,
Lewis
yeah,
is overanalyzed. He doesn't do himself any favours with his attitude, the way he behaves. But if you put Mikey Lewis in front of a team that are falling apart and he has the opportunity to be involved in 10 tries, that fucker will be involved in 11 because he wants to be involved. But then you're looking at Jake Connor involved in 12 or 10. So for me, I don't think you can look past the way he's performing right now and just say he's inconsistent.
Yeah. The biggest question mark for me, I agree. The biggest question mark for me in the England squad is the fullback position.
Who we got?
Brimson.
Wellesby. I can't name any others.
You've got Brimson and Wellesby, haven't you? The thing is, Brimson's been playing at centre for Titans most of the year.
I think I'd just go Zach Harder. Sorry, Jim.
Don't get him started.
Rich Whiting.
It's hard. I do think it's hard. I think there's a lot of
It's
positions.
bloody
in the
hard
squad
when
to
half
cover.
of the bloody fullbacks in the world have got injuries. Especially the ones that play in Super League.
Yeah, there are some young stars I would like to have seen kick on this year and maybe see a bit more of. You know, Kai Taylor-Ray would have been nice, but he's obviously out now.
Jowett.
Max Jowett. Although Max is meant to be back next week. Well, after this.
Oh, I love watching. Just flip back to the team playing the best rugby. Max Jowett is so good to watch. It's like he's on.
I'm going to put a name in there from my point of view, and because I wanted to see how he would progress this year, and Will Price. I'm not saying he would have got a call up or anything like that.
But just to see
I
where he'd been.
wanted to see where he would have, if he would have kicked on, how good he would have been if he'd have been able to kick on, which we won't see now. But
I mean, with the amount of injuries, if he'd have not been bloody landed on by Nsemba the way that he was, he'd have been a perfect opportunity for him to put his foot down and try and nail that spot.
I think for me, if you tried to name a starting 13 now, you're not really dead set on a lot of positions other than, I think you could get a lot of people to name a winger, at least 3-4 wingers that everyone agrees in and say, he's been lucky to miss out. I think Jez at hooker is going to be on a lot of people's lips.
I think Jez and Darryl, my two hookers at the minute.
Danny Walker.
Danny Walker in the squad. They're my three hookers in the squad, but I'd still probably edge towards Jez and Darryl Clark. You got Farmouth and Young as one of your wingers and one of your centres. I think that's nailed on. Radley is your 13 with Knowles as his backup.
Well,
off the
you
bench.
say Radley is your 13, but he's only played 2 games, 3 games, and he's
very,
got
very
himself
lucky
in
not-
trouble
not
this
to
week,
get
hasn't he?
suspension,
So,
yeah.
like,
Got
plus
away with it, didn't he?
you've got to factor in as well the history that he's got with Ed Knox as to whether he's actually going to make it through to the World Cup and be in a position to play in it.
I think what we need to wait for as well is to maybe hear a bit more from McDermott to understand how he's going to pick this team and coach it, because maybe he's not a fan of bringing players over from Australia. And honestly, I'm not against that. I generally, it's not as if we have 2 or 3 players that we bring over that are superstars and completely change a game, have they? We still didn't win a game in the Ashes this year.
No, we didn't.
Also, happy birthday to his birthday.
Happy birthday, to whoever that is.
Ruby. Apparently.
Happy birthday, Ruby. Talking of players from down under declaring, there's Alex Seifforth, plays for West, he's a sort of second row loose. He's declared that he'd be willing to play for England in the World Cup.
Basically not good enough to play for Australia. I'll play for England.
Yeah, I don't think many people watch a team as poor as West either, so they wouldn't
Second
really
in
know
the
who he
league.
is.
Second in the League West, yeah.
For now.
Do you know what? Talking of West, one player that's gone. I am. One player, just because your team's shit. One player that's actually gone to West this season and really stepped up and improved and got back to his, not his absolute best, but more like his best. Kai Pearce-Paul.
Matt Duffy. Kai Pearce-Paul.
Kai Pearce-Paul, since he's gone to West, has been given a lot more freedom by Benji to just play his way of playing, and he just looks so much better for it.
It looks like he's had a new lease of life.
Yeah.
I do think we're pretty much at time, so we are in agreement then. We'll take Minnie at loose man, we'll take Dino at second row. Thanks for that. Obviously, you wanted Logan Moore, you can't have him, he's not getting involved. So, yeah, good.
Wow.
Time to talk about our monthly shout out and where our £50 and where our efforts are going this month. So, as always, when we're into a new month, we'll start telling you about the latest cause, talk about every week, and then we'll come back and ask you guys to keep letting us know for future months if there's any causes you want to get involved in or what you want us to donate our £50 to and to advertise on screen and in a quick shout out now. But what we're going for this time is the money's going to cancer research. So should be quite a generic one for everyone here that pretty much everybody's lives has been touched by cancer, unfortunately, in some way. And there's not many very lucky people that don't have some involvement somewhere. But basically, this one's for Sarah and Layla Green, who are raising money for cancer research by taking part in a challenging and muddy 5k run. They're passionate about supporting this cause because almost everyone knows someone who's been affected by cancer. All funds that are raised will go towards helping people on the journey to recovery and supporting vital research to challenge cancer. So Sarah and her daughter Layla, so Layla's 13, 14, you know, and her mum are going to be running this. And so I think it's just a great cause. It hasn't got the longest story behind it. It's just a really great, simple one of let's put some money back into fucking beating cancer. Yeah. And so as a reminder to everyone, give us a shout out and let us know where you want to go. This will be May's cause. We'll have future ones, but across the bottom there'll be a barcode and a scan to go to the Just Giving page for this raise money for Pretty Muddy. So yeah, let's go and beat cancer, boyos.
It's long overdue.
Just quickly, just to scoot back to last month, just to close it off. Lucas has obviously gone in. I'm saying obviously, he's going in for his surgery on Wednesday for his heart operation. So from everyone here at Bragging Rights and hopefully all of our listeners, hope everything goes well. Keep us posted, and we'll speak to you then.
Yeah,
Go smash it, buddy.
That is Wednesday the 6th as well, so that'll be the day that this drops.
There we go.
So yeah. What are you looking at, Joe?
Stretching. I feel like this bad back thing's contagious.
No,
Started there, now
no.
he's got it. And
It's a bit of caramel from your Magnum.
is it?
There, yeah.
Wow.
Should we go to bed now?
Evie, where's this
Are
full
you
box of
actually
Magnums
today
gone?
that we're here on a Monday and you can't look at people trying to get in and laugh
Oh,
at
it's a
them?
killer. There's nothing, because also as well, I'm a bit of an overthinker with stuff like that. So I'm like, I always Google where I'm going and check opening times. And I'm like, will it be open, will it not? So I would know that I would never turn up here on a Monday unless it was a bank holiday, because I would have Googled it and seen closed on Mondays. And even if Google was wrong, that's fine. I wouldn't have turned up to find out because I wouldn't have bothered coming. But obviously we see people, they've got the yellow pages.
I think we should get a second camera set up there and just have, just like picture in picture, just put it at the bottom of the screen so people can see how many people actually try the door on a
I
Monday.
reckon that if we set a camera up there, we recorded it, and then I set a separate YouTube channel up called Epic Fails, and it was just people trying a door that's locked, it'd get more views than this. Just because people click the clickbait titles, don't they? Like,
Yeah.
Epic Fails, man slams into door, and it's just a bloke like that. Oh, sorry, love, can't get a pound tonight. Nah, I just slap a big sticker on it saying Roffle. Roffle. Anyways, join my YouTube channel. It's sorry, Craig.
At Josh Roffle.
Wow.
Don't need to say sorry to me, I enjoyed that.
It's not Craig anyway, it's you two
Us.
Okay.
previewing.
A
Your
quick
trip to Doncaster.
Over to you, Craig and other Josh. Thanks, other Josh.
Fuck's sake.
Oh,
Good catch that, Craig.
it was completely unintentional. All I had in my head then, as soon as I threw my pen, was Jimmy getting really, really mad at me because it makes a noise if it hits the table.
Oh, man,
So-
yeah, and then people singing happy birthday downstairs have outdone you today.
Because you
mate,
moaned
so-
at me for clicking my pen or tapping my pen.
Do you know how
or whatever.
annoying it is for people on the radio when all they hear is...
This is fantastic
I
because
brought a twisty one today, and it's a Ravenclaw one.
I can't believe how mad he's getting it, how long we're taking, and also,
I don't
it's not
care.
even anyone's birthday, we're just doing it to wind us up.
They just wanted a free kick. Amy's just giving him a free
There's
kick.
no one called Ruby downstairs
Travel's
anyway.
not even open.
It's a bunch of blokes.
That's
Where
just
is
this
that?
Ruby.
Having said
It's just
that,
this that.
Ruby Walsh, the jockey, Ruby can be a man's name.
Okay. Can it?
Should we talk about Rovers versus Wire in the semi-final this Sunday, and then we can do a...
Go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, the key thing from this is I'll put my teeth in. We will see where we're at. Because you mentioned in our section, Josh, that we haven't really played, apart from Leeds and a very, very underwhelming St Helens, that we haven't really played anybody of note, taking you guys out of it, just because you're shit.
Right. Fucking hell, we've said it about ourselves. We don't need you to do it this week. Fucking hell.
Sorry, I had to.
You're not having any vodka.
I don't need it. Don't need it, mate. I'm full of it already. We'll see where we're at this week. We're playing a Warrington side that is in good form. They relatively had a training run last week as well in their game, racking up quite a decent score in the end of.
Will you say that? Why were dire in the second half on Saturday night?
But so were we.
Yeah, but in very different ways. In terms of, they goes in at half time, something like 26-0 up, and then ended up closing the game out 34-12 or something like that. Let Huddersfield come back in and couldn't string a pass together, got ahead of themselves, played really poorly.
So did we.
Quite a treat. Well, we wasn't that bad in the second half.
I don't know.
Nah, Casford had more of a resurgence for 20 minutes where they actually put some effort in.
I was pleased with our goal line
And
stance there.
we I honestly, I'm worried you're going to be over any semi-final. Wyre will want a bit of blood, but I don't think they're very similar to us in terms of the fact that they also haven't had the toughest run yet. And I actually don't know where we're going to go with this, because what is a tough run? Because who is the form teams at the minute? Because Saints are second and we've beat them.
Honestly, there is 3 teams at the minute where you could say, if we had to play these 3 teams, yourselves, Leeds and Warrington, I'd say that's a tough run. Anyone else, I would say, a chance of beating them.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I just want
Especially with how inconsistent you guys
no,
are.
but everyone's been inconsistent. We have been more than most, but
I get told off by Mike and Colin for being too lenient on you, so I've had to sling a
Fuck
couple
Mike
in.
and fuck Colin.
Look, I've seen these arguments online as well about, like, will Sky stop getting all over Leeds? So you're forgetting when they went out the Challenge Cup?
to Wakefield.
And then it's like...
And then
we
beat him the week after.
But then on Friday night, John Wilkins said he'd eat his shoe if Wakefield won the game. What's he talking about? Wakefield were fair him a table when that game started. Like, it's just ridiculousness. Anyone can beat anybody, and on Sunday will be no different. I expect, with the way we've fallen into form, playing some of our best stuff though, that I think we are too strong for that Warrington side, especially with the injuries they've got and the players they're not playing. But it means we need an 80-minute performance, and slip-ups like we had at the end of the Casford game, letting a man into score like that won't fly in a game like this. Now, luckily for us, Warrington are terrible at travelling. Oh well, the ticket sales for this game are. We will pack that stadium out with Rovers fans, we'll be loud and proud, and Wyre won't bring us
Ain't
many.
giving any more.
We've got over 7,000. We've got the full one side, the full behind the sticks, and then half of this side. So
That's
three
what
quarters
we-
of the stadium.
That's what we had when we was
So-
at Doncaster, both times against Leeds and Wigan. That's how bad every other team travels for games like this.
So that'll help us. But anything can happen, and if we come here next week and have to say, look, we're out the Challenge Cup, we've gone out, no shame in going out in the semi-finals, but I do hold out hope, especially with how our season's progressing, that we can be strong. But having said that, I think it'll be close.
Yeah, I think it'll be close. Hopefully we'll have enough to make it to another final, but we'll see.
Not another one.
Not another one. Anyways, I do have a bit of a shout out and a bit of a stat. So Willie Peters, thanks to Mike Carter at Hull KR Shirts, has won a competitive game at every ground he's played at in Europe, except one,
Doncaster.
Doncaster. He has one last chance to make that right. The only other stadium that he's not won a game at as a Rovers coach is Allegiant in a competitive fixture. Not counting the Amsterdam Challenge because that was only friendly.
Susan was just claiming Amsterdam.
Yeah,
was
that's why I
friendly,
said
though.
competitive.
It's not competitive.
Yeah.
But in a competitive fixture, he's only not won at two grounds. One was Allegiant, one's Doncaster.
Where's he won the most games?
Probably at the MKM.
Yeah, I was just going to say, probably be our grand, won't it?
Ruffled.
But yeah, thanks to Mike at OKR Shirts for that one.
Cheers, Mike. Mike, go.
Good lad. Go give him a follow.
Is that the mic
No,
I
good
just
stuff.
swore at?
No, that's Mike Abel.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
fuck
swore
Mike
at.
Abel.
That's Abel's dad.
Yeah. Fuck Abel.
Is it? Oh, you're living life.
What do you think, sir?
Never knew that. Go on then.
Unless it's Joanne's son and...
Oi,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
don't get distracted, you.
your turn to half shine today.
Half shine, yeah, 'cause we've only got half a section.
We missed that.
Oh.
That bit of good news in the news.
It's not good news, and it's not confirmed, so
What? Am I Borough banned for one game?
he might not be. We have a reserve game
Reserve
against Wigan
game's got
next
a
week.
game.
For God's sake.
So I don't know if that will...
That was one of my favourite parts of your game, actually, was when the ref was telling him off. And then he dragged Caesar over to say, look, you're the captain. I've told your team already. And then Caesar tried to run away. The man who loves talking to the referee. And he's like, Caesar, come back. Aidan, come back. I'm talking to you. And I thought, "Jeez, what's happening? It's so surprising.
Anyways, now can I have my time to half, Sean, please?
Yeah, go on then.
Thank you.
Of course you can, big cracker.
Who got the wooden spoon?
So, wooden spoon this week goes to Roland Robbins' coach. 1 point. But
Shit.
only predicted the Rovers game. But as I said, previous, you've had your chance. If you only predict one game, that's on
Why
you.
would you just do the one game? If you're going
I
to
don't
do
know.
it, just do all
It
seven.
takes 2 seconds to just go bang, bang, bang. Well, maybe not 2, but 2
Well, yeah.
per game.
And I've been told
14 seconds.
by Dan Arroway, everyone's favourite, non-favourite, that
Who is he?
I nearly was like, what?
That's real mean.
So
I don't care.
Emma, who was last season's official yellow cap, won the league overall,
Yeah.
but Jimmy apparently moved the goalposts.
I didn't move the goalpost. The goalpost was set from the beginning.
Just saying what I've been told to say, don't shoot the messenger.
All right.
You
Shoot
moved the
Emma
goalposts. Emma got the yellow cap this week.
This week?
This week she did, yeah. She's got 8.83, which
It's not a bad score.
is not a bad score. There was a couple of sort of odd fixes in there. I don't think many people back to lose.
Did you mention that fair last week?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Well, like 1 million points that she scored in the first 2 games.
Yeah, she's
You'd
got
know
8
if you
this
watched
week.
back.
Yeah, she's got 8 this week. She finished second. But shout out to Emma Andrews finishing on 8.83 and taking the yellow cap for this week. Quick roundup of our standings.
Did you have a shout out for the only person in the league
It's a back.
to back to lose yesterday?
I did not. Was it Gary?
New Forest
New
Robin.
Forest Robin.
Yeah.
Gary.
That's a and
Massive shout.
Adam by 4 or 6. I texted you
6,
by
yeah.
6, and so
Yeah,
obviously
so took the full sweep.
got the full sweep. But the only person to back him, and I thought,
Fair play, Garrett. Well done, mate.
well done indeed.
Yeah,
That's
massive.
really frustrating for me because I even said after the Cast game that I would back to lose by 4 and then I
I'm
bottled
not
it.
backing all for the rest of the season. Oh, Chip.
Right then, quick roundup of our standing. Susan is still top, 58.25, followed by Jimmy and myself on 54.5. Jimmy is above me by virtue of winning margin being closer than mine. Dean, you're on 52.75, and Josh brings up the rear, 48.5. So, but we're not getting ahead of ourselves with Josh because we know what he's like. He likes a little late comeback in the season.
Back 9 player, always have been.
Back 9 player.
I also feel that's got a bit shorter, that chase. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I'm a bit closer to you than I was the week before.
But I'll tell you what.
That's 4 points. I thought it was 4 points last
I
week.
thought it was 5 last week, and now it's 4.
4.25 now, and it was 3.75 last week.
So it's got worse.
Got worse.
Yes.
Technically incorrect. The best kind of incorrect.
I'm not getting carried
Come back,
away.
son, mate. Come back,
One little
son.
bit.
Don't you worry.
Oh, it's me again.
It's you again.
Josh, take this one. You're good at this.
Okay. Cheers, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
See you, bye.
As always, we do appreciate everybody that listens and watches. However you choose to consume our podcast, whether that's just by listening or by watching, please make sure you like and subscribe on that platform. But particularly if you do watch us on YouTube and see our ugly mugs, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you can get the video into the top of your inbox and on the top of your homepage when you log in. But also smash that hype button, and you can do it 3 times a week, and it really helps us out with growing the pod. As always, thank you to Tribal, the home of the pod, for hosting us, giving us food, drinks, giving us business connections for things like vodka. Make sure you come down and enjoy sport throughout the week. Obviously, this week you've only got the 2 Challenge Cup games in terms of rugby league.
Can I open it yet?
Yeah. But you can come down Saturday and Sunday, enjoy them. Bring your pass, get your 15% off if you order food and drink. And as always, thank you to Comscaff, as our main sponsor as well. So if you keep liking, you keep commenting, you keep sending us stuff, we will keep meeting, we will keep talking, we will keep making this podcast.
You keep watching. We'll keep recording.
Ain't that the truth, brother? So thank you very much. And from me, I'll be the first to say this evening, see you bye.
See you. Bye.
See you, bye.
See you, bye.
Dim, 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 dim.